Are you ready to embrace a more joyful and simple way of living? It all starts from the moment we wake up. Here are 5 practical tips we can use to transform our mornings and discover the beauty of simple living. Okay, but first of all, what even is simple living? According to Wikipedia, simple living are practices that promote simplicity in our lifestyles. So what are some practical things we can do to achieve this? Tip number 1, establish a morning routine. When we start our mornings with a consistent morning routine, this can structure our days to be simpler. This can include activities such as writing, including a brain dump, also journaling, morning pages, whichever one of these practices feel better for you. But it just helps get all of the running thoughts out of our mind and into paper. And when we begin to do this, we can now relax and have a simpler day because we won't have to worry about forgetting anything throughout the day. We can also try activities such as stretching or simply enjoying a nice warm beverage in the morning. Having a structured start to the day can create a sense of calm and simplicity. A great morning starts the night before. So next, we're going to plan ahead. When we plan the night before, it creates for a more simpler morning because once again, we do not have to worry about forgetting the things that we have to do. In addition, if we take this time to create a to-do list, this will set us up for not only a simpler day, but a more productive one too, because you can now hone in what are those key important things that must be done, and you can reduce them from 20 million to maybe a simple 5 or 7, and who knows, maybe even 3, depends on what kind of day you're going for, or if these are big tasks on our to-do list. When we intentionally plan the night before, we can select these to-dos without feeling a sense of urgency. We can look at our calendars and see exactly when the deadlines are for each item, therefore selecting wisely which activities we should focus on the next day. Piggybacking on this a little bit, if you do often have a lot of to-dos like I do, feel free to write a running to-do list, which is every single thing that comes to your mind. Write it down on that list so that you do not overwhelm your to-do list for the day. Planning ahead also helps to reduce morning chaos and causes you to focus on what truly matters. In addition to our to-do list, we can also consider prepping our lunch and breakfast the night before. This has helped to save me a ton of time in the morning, and I can focus more on being present with my boys rather than preparing their meals from scratch in the morning. This gives us more time together as a family and a lot more giggles and fun throughout the day. Another thing we can do to have a more simple morning is limit the use of technology. I strongly encourage you 1 to 2 hours after waking, do not use your phones. I know it's tough at first, believe me, but if I can do it, you can definitely do it too. You can now focus on being intentional and being mindful and being present instead of doom scrolling or checking our emails or anything that comes our ways from those screens. Let's put them away. They will be available later. And when we structure those times to use our phone, especially if it's to use it for social media and scrolling, it will be that much sweeter because we are intentional about it and we set this time deliberately apart from that. Not to mention, it helps the family to feel more connected because we're not on our devices but paying more attention to them, and that causes them to feel seen and very special when we no longer have our devices in our hands but are giving them our full undivided attention. We can also take a newfound time to spend a little more time in nature. When I spend more time in nature, I can see what beautiful creations the Lord has made. It is truly awesome and inspiring and beautiful. And this can cause bursts of creativity, productivity, and whatever else you aspire to for your day. In addition to limiting technology, we can now also practice mindfulness. It is good to incorporate mindful practices, especially to our mornings, because if we begin to do it in the morning, we can now carry this habit throughout the day. When we do this, we can certainly slow ourselves down and appreciate all of the things around us. We can take a couple of minutes to appreciate the present activity we are currently doing, our surroundings, our families, wherever we may be, and whatever we happen to be doing at the moment. When we slow down and be mindful, we tend to appreciate it a lot more. We can also practice deep breathing and prayers and just asking the Holy Spirit to show us how to be more mindful. I used to struggle with this a lot. I'm always going a mile a minute, and I'm really working on slowing down my life and my duties and everything in general. So this is a work in progress for me too. Everything that I'm talking about, I have been researching and practicing it, and I admit it's super duper hard. But the more I do it, the more stronger of a habit it becomes, and the more I actually appreciate it, because instead of being on go, 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 I can actually slow down and enjoy the day that the Lord has made. This can also help us find joy in the simple things in life, which is super duper awesome, especially when it comes to my next tip, which is decluttering. When we declutter our spaces, we not only simplify our mornings, but our whole entire life. A clutter-free environment not only reduces stress, but it also makes things easier to find in the mornings, which is already a pretty chaotic time. When we regularly go through our things and declutter the items we no longer need, it makes things so much simpler. I know decluttering can be a challenge in the beginning, so if you want to learn more about having a clutter-free home, check out this video here where I talk all about it, and I'll meet you there right now. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, to God be the glory. Bye!